Folks, how do we turn the state around? Well, it's virtually impossible by myself. But look on the screen here and follow this document. It's a website. You should check it out. I'll take you there. You ready? Here it is. Intervention America. Ask the doctor. Bill Martin is a licensed clinical psychologist, married, family, child therapist. He's got a lot of education. Now, do you have questions about treatment? Let's look. What am I driving at? These are the questions I just asked him. If you go to any website, you can see what I am talking about. Go to Messenger. Here we go. Are you looking? Let me check. Yes, you are. Okay. If you click bipolar disorder rehab, detoxification rehab, executive drug rehab, gambling addiction, HIV treatment, inpatient, LGBT rehab, methadone, opioid treatment. There's a lot of things going on, folks. House for Women, Fresh Start, Sober Living in Westport. Go to each town. For example, Derby, one sober living house. Danielston, one sober living house. Bridgeport, 12 sober living houses. What are they actually? Do you know the definition of a sober house? Incidentally, there are 48 living arrangements, not one sober living home in Meriden, Connecticut. There are 46 or 48. So when you look and try to decipher what's going on, 3 in Hamden, traditional living home, Hamden, Connecticut. Do you have questions? Here we go. St. Luke's Behavioral Health Center. San Diego Addiction Services, Connecticut Recovery Housing. More sober living. Okay. Go to Norwalk. Take the test. Norwalk. Here it is. 4. Is that true? Connecticut Renaissance, Department of Psychiatry and Addiction, Family and Children Agency, People. Okay. St. Luke's, Bill Bowles, Camp Recovery. You know what? Nowhere on here does it list the Bartlett Avenue treatment house. Prison release, folks. Prison release. Bartlett has prison release. Quintard has prison release. Why? Because our state senator, let's go to it. No. Hold on. Right here. Facebook. Senator Bob Duff. Send him a message. Bob, why are you getting campaign contributions from the money launderer Firetree? That's my comment. That's my question. He'll never answer. Why are you getting campaign contributions from the money launderer Firetree? Boom. Okay. Robinson, Cole. Sent. Now, ask the doctor. Here we go. I'm asking this doctor, let's go to the top, Dr. Bill Martin, PhD, what is Firetree's role in the sober house in Norwalk? It is not a sober house, judging from the collected crack pipes. Yeah. That's a question. Let him answer it. Why is the DNC chair involved? Why is the DSC treasurer involved? Why is the DSC, the Connecticut treasurer for the Democratic National Committee, on the board of Firetree? Why is Chief Kaholic on the board of Firetree covering up the check fraud? Covering up check fraud. Why didn't they investigate the check that McClutchy gave to Eloisa Melendez, who is the DSCC treasurer? Why is Bob Duff receiving bribes from Robinson and Cole, who is Firetree's attorney? Why is the state of Pennsylvania? You must choose the best time. Okay. Myself. Send. Oh, I gotta check another box. Okay, let's see. Which state? Connecticut. Myself. Question. Send. Check the box. Okay. Sent. Now, look at the detox rehabs in Connecticut. There's a problem here, folks. Glastonbury. 1. I know more about New Canaan, Norwalk, Westport, Stamford. Here we go. Stamford has 3. Methadone, detox, substance and abuse, drug detox services of Connecticut. Okay. Is that Du Bois? This is really not very helpful, though it does list the Middletown, Connecticut drug detox rehab. Let's go to Norwalk, because I've been there and I know the doctor. 7 Stevens Street. St. Luke's Behavioral. Glastonbury. This doesn't list the opioid treatment center. Okay. Opioid treatment, Connecticut. Outpatient in New London. And let's look in Norwalk, because 20 North Main Street. There it is. Family and Children's Agency. I want to know. DUI assistance. Ready? Connecticut. Ready? Watch. Enfield, Norwalk. Ready? Byington Place. Okay. 17 Quintard is not mentioned here. Neither is Bartlett Avenue. Okay? So these Intervention America National Resource on Recovery is completely wrong. Look at Bridgeport. Chemical Abuse Services Agency. I know Norwalk's is wrong. And I wonder why Bob Duff is accepting this many contributions to his campaign after leaving the definition for a halfway house unchanged. Opening a rehab center with no permits and bribes. He doesn't answer any questions. What happened with Ezra Priest? Oh, he knows. Ezra lived in Cedar Court. I am told Bob Duff is a board member. He allowed for the planting of drugs in a disabled mute veteran's home. He got evicted and thrown out on the street. He died 6 days after his COVID shot. This is troubling that all these instances go back to Bob Duff's mishandling while taking the number of bribes that he is taking. And the owner of Cedar Court, Arthur Greenblatt, is maintaining that he bought politicians and judges. Well, he certainly bought one judge in Connecticut, and he certainly bought the politician on the board of his own property, because when Lizette had bed bugs twice, she needed 2 transfusions. She has cerebral palsy. Bob Duff did not help her, folks. Your Senate Majority Leader allowed a disabled woman in a wheelchair, who's now in the hospital for something else, to be eaten alive by an entire gallon of bed bugs that I removed from her mattress, that came through the laundry facility of her Cedar Court apartment, which is in the Housing Authority. If you read the Vesta lawsuit between Norwalk and Vesta, Vesta had 3 partners: the federal HUD, the state, and the city of Norwalk. Vesta accused those other partners of unconscionable criminal acts, and they settled with him for $1.2 million. He promptly gave a campaign contribution to Harry Rilling after accepting money from Harry, and Harry receiving $1 million as well. That's what we're told. It's tax evasion. That's how they got Capone. That's how they got to get Harry Rilling. But when you look what Harry Rilling is doing about check fraud in Norwalk, it's astonishing that he put Chief Kaholic on the board of Firetree while Duff's collecting bribes. And what's the state agency here we had on the screen all about? I have a question. You should look at this. You should look. These 4 sober living homes don't mention the 2, 24 Stevens Street, 165 Flax Hill. Excuse me, where's Bartlett and where's Quintard? They're not on here. Look at Derby. Report, if you could, kindly, if you're in Hamden or Hartford or Kent or Fairfield or Enfield, can you verify for me, please, if any of this stuff is correct? Because it's not correct. And Bill Martin, PhD, is not correct. So I appreciate your time and effort. But this whole scheme of defrauding Connecticut residents for the bleeding heart Democrats who are collecting bribes does nothing for the opioid addicts who are being denied Narcan due to Congressman Jim Himes. And why did Himes collect an OxyContin bribe? Why did Blumenthal, my opponent in the U.S. Senate race? I'll tell you this. Blumenthal returned his OxyContin bribe knowing he didn't want to facilitate the murder of 220 people per day. But that's not what Jim Himes is doing. And why was Jim Himes' assistant stabbed 39 times like Seth Rich? Why was Jim Himes' assistant. What's his name? Let Jim Himes explain the situation. Were these robberies, Seth Rich? Nope. Weren't. They were making a statement. What's his name? Say his name. Say his name and explain what you are doing with these mental health facilities not equipped to handle the 300 violent felons that were taken out of the maximum security prison and put in local communities like Firetree without permits, without an explanation to the community. And why is Mr. Lewis dead? Is it Bob Duff's fault that Jimmy Lewis was found murdered in his car, who lives next to Firetree? I believe so. I can't fight the guy without a few bucks from many of you monthly as the campaign moves forward, or I won't be able to prevail because the court cases are $750 each. This is a call I have to take. So thank you very much.